So I just saw something that made me wanna just like overall talk about this shit. Like I just who is giving out like why aren't there tools to help people heal from their childhood trauma? Like it's just so upsetting to see people hurting and hurting themselves all because like you know what it is, you know what it is, childhood trauma. People are alcoholics, people are addicts, people are addicted to sex, all of that stuff because of what they went through as a child. Like that's what all this shit stemmed from. Like all of this anger, hurt, and people causing people pain and people causing people hurt, that's just still from childhood trauma. And it's just like, why aren't there tools to help people heal from that shit? Like I know for me, and it's still crazy because even still to this day, like even for me, like one of the biggest things that I had a hard time healing from was like me being molested, me having my innocence taken from me while I was 12 years old, sleep at a friend's cousin house, if that's what you want to call them, because I don't think now that I'm older and I understand what really happened, I know that that wasn't their cousin house, but it was by her fucking brother. And I really feel like she set me up. And you could tell by how I said that, like I'm still working on that. But in the same sense, I'm able to acknowledge it. I recognize that it wasn't my fault. I do understand that, like, you know, shit happens. And I do know that hurt people. And so that is like what helps me heal from like my childhood trauma and all the other stuff, even with the parental issues from childhood trauma, like things like that. Like that should not be nothing but a cycle of hurt, a cycle of lessons that people learned that they haven't gotten over, you know? And it's so sad to see so many people turn to substance all because they can't accept the fact that it wasn't their fault. Like in reality, I think like that's the fucking start. To understand it wasn't your fault. No, you did not deserve to be hurt in any way, shape, or form. Whether it was molestation, neglect, abandonment, whatever. Like, no one deserves to be treated like that. You know, and yet it happened. And it's so unfortunate to say, but like, now what? Like, okay, that shit happened, now what? Why even sit in that shit and let that shit fester and turn into something it doesn't even have to turn into? It don't have to turn to drugs. It don't have to turn into sex. It don't have to turn to alcohol. It's like, let it turn into something else, something powerful, something like take your power back. Like, you know, take your power back from that situation. Do not let it do not let it ruin you. Do not let it turn into something that could possibly be your downfall. Instead, turn that shit into some magic. Like me being molested, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was called a whore, of course, because I acted out. I was very promiscuous. I was fucking on anybody that would even fucking want to have sex with me. Like it was really, really bad, you know? But I learned that one, sexual energy is healing. So I understand and I learned that I have healing powers through my sexuality. And then two, that shit taught me how to have like bomb ass sex. So when I do get with my husband, when I do get with my life partner, when I do get with the person that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with, I wanna know how to satisfy him. And that shit works for me. I learned how to flip it into something that is magical. You know, I learned about tantra sex and I learned about things that sexual that's beneficial. Also learned that you can't have sex with everyone. It's not good.